So here we are at the crux, Cosa, the cross. This is where the continents are smashing together in like four pieces, basically. This is the pass that gets you through it. Trinidad, Colorado. Well, I'm not there anymore. It's so awful there. Like this, I'm gonna keep this one really simple. It's like all these people that are into this trying to set me up shit. No matter what happens, I've already got you. The fatal blow's already been struck. The institutions that you thought you could commandeer and use for your own gleeful and insipid machinations are crumbling underneath you because you abuse them. So, whether they're trying to set me up or do me dirty, that's just common here. Like the FBI and the drug cartel and all these miserable monsters here have been trying to set me up for a long time and trying to drive me crazy, hurting me, torturing me until I have psychological problems. I know that's what they're doing. And really, they're just a bunch of dirty pigs. I will fucking either imprison or destroy you all. All of you. And woe to all the good people who are lashed to you. One, if they're doing good things for you, they're not good people. Two, you created a situation that you can't come back out of. You guys are gonna get burnt. And in so many ways, because look, all of you couldn't beat me. What are you gonna do? All you can do is all I'll give you is the hand-to-hand combat. All I'll give you is the hand-to-hand combat. And rule number one, send your best dude and send 3 dudes to eat afterwards. I promise you. That's all I do is destroy you tactically, martially, and in every single way. On every front. Economically. Raw materials. And the best part is you guys do it to yourselves, take advantage of your lack of value and principle, and ruin you that way. Because that's what you were trying to do to me, but you never could and you never did. Marvelous stages, exacerbating circumstances, the attempts at sleep deprivation and noise harassment, all these things culminate into what? You guys suck. It's just like when you did that war for all that oil and you still have to pay for gas. It's like you guys killed all those people. It's just like what you did to me. And like the brutality and the degradation in your surroundings, your environment. It's like that one chick who used to go by TNT Storm used to say about gang sex. She's like, why don't you guys just go kill yourselves? She knows you guys. She's right there. She is right there with you, and she's looking right at you, and she's saying it. And you guys don't know what's going on, and you don't know how you've been infiltrated, so you don't know why your own shit hurts you. Your own garbage hurts you almost directly now. It tells you. It's like, I mean, I understand you got important things to do. Investigate a former president. Dude, which one though, right? You have to leverage both of them. I know you guys do. I know how you leverage the Bidens. I know how you try to leverage Trump. Biden goes along for the ride. And Trump gets shit for not going along for it. I'm not saying it takes a genius. I mean, look, here I am. You guys tried to do that shit to me, right? Political values aside permanently now. Your political values are only valuable to me when I can use them to manipulate you. But that's a long and time-old ploy and an old story. Because you guys are wrecked, and you know it's straight from me and it's straight from the heart, and you have nothing you can say or do about it. Now, between the people trying to set me up and the judge, it's something else. In order for me, I can't even tell you. I'm not even gonna say anything about it because I don't even believe you guys can get that shit together. like I say, it was horrible in Trinidad. Like, it was either the FBI or the same old drug dealers. Either way, same crap FBI, DEA. Okay, so it's either the same old drug dealers, the Lammarys, that have been doing that shit up in that house, like around that neighborhood where my parents used to live in one of their houses too. It's fucking occult shit if you don't think I know. Why do you think they're trying so hard to set me up, right? You don't get it. Like, I'm the real deal. You guys try to come across like I'll show my face too. You don't realize. Like, you guys know, even if you're gang stalking light, you know these guys are cowards and worms. You know that nothing they do is really gonna work out for them because nobody, their tactics, blatant villainy, consistently all the time. And their only ideas to solve for those is to dirty other people up and trying to set other people up. So their thinking behind it is that we're so terrible, if we don't set these guys up and make these guys look bad, we'll lose. Because the mob, look, dude, forget it. All that's out. There's totally new ways to manipulate the mob besides making them stand on a virtue they probably don't even really have, so they can gain the approval of whoever the so-and-sos are or whatever, to look right and look straight. None of that's going on. It's like, you want mobs and you want mob battles and you want mob tactics. It's simple. It's overt and covert mind control. These people don't run on facts. They don't have a litmus for truth. They don't use any kind of forensic analysis. It's not really important. I don't carry the burden of proof. It's not really important to me so much what they think. It's what they do. Sometimes it's what they say, but I realized a long time ago that so very little of what people say actually matters. It depends on what they're doing and why they're saying it. Are they saying something to inform you? Then they're trying to empower you and their speech benefits you. Are they trying to manipulate you and elicit a response? If that's the case, then they are not trying to empower you. They are trying to disempower you and assert control themselves. Look, gang stalking is like a huge cover-up, and these dudes put a lot of spam on YouTube. Okay? So, pictures of your leg, nothing. Nobody sees nothing on your leg, dude. Just another picture of your leg, dude. I'd rather watch the yoga chicks, I promise you. Another picture of your body parts. Nobody sees anything there. It's fucking fake. You're fake. You're a pig. You probably owe them time for a bunch of dope or something, you fucking monster. I'm gonna fuck all you villains up. You'll see my face, dude. Hottie hottie. I'm looking right at you, too. I'm completely fearless. I've seen you guys fail ridiculously and exponentially. Your kingdom and you guys are dead. Me, regardless. And I know that in about a quarter of a century it's gonna be really bad. You guys did dirty shit instead. Sorry. It's the FBI, dude. It's the CIA. It's the Secret Service. It's the other country's national despots. It's the arms dealers. It's the black market. Them too. And then it's just me all by myself. So when I'm there doing exactly what I said I was going to do, is because I had all of you and all your systems against me. And you guys were such ridiculous villains. All that evil and retardedness had to put me on. And really, it doesn't have anything to do with me. It's just that you guys were so stupid. It's not that I'm so great, it's that you're so shitty is a good explanation for you. Not that anybody owes you an explanation. I'm talking to you to taunt you and dog you because you're trash. And I know you're onto me, and you know I'm onto you, and there's not a damn thing you punks can do about it. You want to see me, you're going to see me. It's Aikido. And the only reason why is Aikido. You find me there, and I will teach you the right way. If you don't find me there, you'll never know the right way. It's hard to find the right way. Come from a long line of knights. I could call them your cops, your armor, whatever. You guys are trash with it. I mean, absolute most evil empire in history, trash with it. No right-minded person, no one with the power like what we have would serve you or do anything for you or with you. No one with the competency it takes to deliver prisoners and prosecute criminals would ever do anything with you guys. Anybody who's involved with what you did is going down with you, and look at them. They're going down, dude. One more time. The FBI is infiltrated by an occult group that uses ritual magic to affect people's lives, control people, and hurt people. Now, no matter what they say, though, I get this, all right? 38 of the kids that they found were from Colorado. From here, I was trying... What up? This place is fucked. Whether or not it's more fucked than any other place, you're fucked for that. Now, FBI, pin it on Colorado. Good job. And people should know that Colorado's had just the most rampant occult violence, craziness, like decapitations, ritual murders, strange esoteric ritual burials, all kinds of stuff. But that's just the stuff you idiots know about. Guess what, you fucking morons? No one's putting their head on the line to tell you the truth. Cause you don't, and there's more. But those are only the things that I can substantiate with as facts through other information outlets. And I know a lot of other stuff, but that's primo intelligence. That's you gotta give me something. You gotta make it worth my while to get what I really know. Because all this time I've been banging it out on you guys with the shit that we have from the public that we already know. So, whether you're left wing or right wing, if you're fighting with each other or fighting the Fed, good for you. Hail Satan. Or whatever you guys say while you're fucking under your demonic mind control, killing each other, and then pretty soon I'll see you guys fighting over a box of Farina. Right? From heaven. Do what you gotta do. Say what you gotta say. Do what you gotta do. Yeah, start today. So, one of my great heroes growing up when I was a kid was Daisaku Aikida. One of the things that he taught people about was weaponry. He was on a mission of peace. I really liked the ideas that he had, and I never got into Sokogokai. But it seems like I always found myself embroiled and distracted. And these things have had their time, and I'm more interested in training than I am anything else. See, because I know that there's a balance between good and evil, I can make my way through these things because I know there's good and there's bad. Like I said, I know there's Sokogokai. I know there's B'nai B'rith. I know about these people and what they stand for. They stand for a strong value set. Like I was in Durango and Trinidad. And Durango is like you go there, you know that like the uranium and the plutonium and other actually useful amalgams are found in the mines, are found around there. And one of the things I get in trouble for is contending as to what they take in and out of there and whether or not they're lying or telling the truth about it. Alright? I don't know if you can hear me. Hold on. So yeah. Talking about Sokogokai, how I walked past, I met my wife at the diner right there by their building in Denver, Colorado. I walked by it a couple times. I thought about it, but like I said, I was always sort of embroiled, right? Like other things are going on. People are, like I said in the previous video, that people are messing with me. Like, it used to be they thought they could mess with me by taking advantage of people that they thought that I cared about. But in the end, they found out that the people that they thought I cared about were in on something else, and it turned out to be a whole totally different situation. And I kind of knew that, like, to begin with. I kind of understood that. What one group thought they could do to betray me, they thought they were actually helping me out. What I was telling you, get them like to cross here, like in Trinidad, Colorado, the crucifix on the earth, right dead in the middle, which is a pretty obvious place on it, is dead in the middle. Like Cygnus, like the cross. It's like I said before, it's like where you get a cross. Okay. I really am trying hard to get into Aikido school, but it's funny. Like, it's like totally. It's like watching Saved by the Bell too. I'm like, anyway. Everybody watching Saved by the Bell and shit like that. My doctor. Like, these people don't realize how they're congruent. I was in Trinidad. It was like really hard on me too, because I had no place to stay, and I'm stuck with the skinhead. Remember, if you guys were paying attention a few years back, I told you, suspender wearing skinhead reported, spotted, blah, blah, blah. It's my cat. It's because me and my landlords are Jews. Look, you guys got to pay attention to what's going on here, but you don't care. The FBI is covering it up because they're dirty. And that's what's in Google, and that's what's happening. Is it like all this terrible, meanwhile, all of the while, somehow covering up the dirty shit they do is the most important thing. It always is like the number one priority. Anyway, thought of going into Sokogokai a couple times. I'm distracted. I've become distracted lately. My Aikido used to be real good, real smooth, real easy. It's been like hectic for the past 3-4 years, like since the end of the end started. Like, really. Anyway, so the nuclear material, Sokogokai, like when there was this earthquake a little while back, the one that wrecked Fukushima, there was also like tremors picked up here too. It's like, I don't know. A lot of this stuff moves congruently, and so more you find out about me in Japan is like, actually, my grandpa was in Japan. He was a spy. Like my family were like these dudes like were continued to be successful at running and gunning. All right, from generation to generation. Like Grandpa Guy is Guy. That's Guy Molinaro, right? His name on the Miners Memorial, but they served, against the invincible soldiers of Okinawa, of the North and South Beach and all this stuff. So it's like maybe the most legendary and historic battle of all time are these engagements. And it was a particular time. Things change, right? You can mold yourself or whatever. But really, like the Russo conflict between Japan and Russia kind of revved up before then, and once again the way they could manage the wake around where they lived and things like this, their intimacy with their environment and their back to that huge space behind them too is like, it's like you think, well, I got my back to the wall. That's just like, I don't know. It's just like my master Bennett used to teach me about San Chin hand form, which is a good hand form. I mean, it's like you could once you realize that it's a completely natural way to move, it's really easy to just integrate it completely into whatever you're doing. And like I've seen, this is it. It's right here. It's right here. It's bringing in the wood, and I know it. It took me a while. Like when I was young, I didn't realize what was going on with me. Like, I was completely diverted, and like I knew these dudes like from DJ Styles and all this. Like these were like hardcore dudes. They did all kinds of dumb shit all the time, even when I was a kid, and they were like actually a sex cult group. So in those days, it was like, yeah, they were like hardcore, like orgy fucking, but they were like, it was like they were using it to blackmail people and like was part of their cult shit. And like, so like everybody else, like if everybody else was just having a big old orgy too, nothing I'm saying I'm into that spray either. Because it's dangerous, it's change of body fluids. You got to watch what you're doing. You're not paying attention. You're going to watch. You can get sick. Like, they spread a lot of STI. People are going to do all kinds of freaky stuff with this. Not really what the most important thing is. Because people have been doing that for as long as there have been people. What came first, the people or the sex? That's why, I see how, different overlords manipulate sexuality. So, I'm frustrated because I'm an organism too. So I have sex too. Like when I get frustrated with it, I don't know. There's I do so many different things. It's like I hate to get too embroiled in it too, or inflict my I don't know. Like I'd rather be doing something else. You know what I mean? If I don't have a girlfriend, so. I'm not married, so then I'm doing something else. I don't know. It's like I'd rather have a girlfriend, but I could be doing something else. And I'm single, I take the chance I can flirt with the girls and talk to girls. I listen to the girls too while I'm single. It's like you get to move like a jealous chick. She get mad you even listen to other girls on the news station and stuff like that. I don't know. You look them dead in the eye like this. So, got distracted by sex. It was the Chocobo. I can smell it on the Chocobo, too. So, they use it, the different ways they use it, too, right? What shatters those plans often is the way different cultures historically and currently deal with gender. Whether or not and how they manipulate gender or sex or what they use it for and how they generate with sex makes a huge difference. What generates, no matter how freaky the sex is, the people that it generates are usually a lot of impact on things. Okay, so like whatever it generates, that's where a lot of the action from the action is. So me, I got off on it because I started talking about Soka Gakkai, and I met my wife at the diner right there, and then I'm just going to tell you it's about nuclear weapons and intrinsic and congruent fluid nature. And you know, if it's me, I say for me personally, sometimes I make mistakes, all right, and I know this, and sometimes I'm wrong, and I know this, and I try my best not to assert myself when I don't really know. I try to be responsible for the things that I say. I started part of this adventure starts when as I was a student diplomat to Moscow when I was 15 years old, and not many people can get in there, and that it may be that no one can get in there now, and that the few people that have been there are a certain group of people. All right, now there's going to be a group of people, a certain group of people, that is those people who have been to Moscow and St. Petersburg and were into the Federation after the wall went down, which was huge. All right, and I was there. I saw it. I was there. Beautiful, fine. Too many tanks and stuff. And they started doing that stuff here too, and I don't like it. And I watched them, and I watched them try to pull the tanks around, and I watched them fly ordnance over our head here, and I watched how they're just these dumb dudes more than half the time, is they're just these idiot dudes with these massive weapons. And I'm like, it's right here in the street with all these people who have no interest or in immediacy or really at all in those large pieces of equipment. The tanks on the streets of Red Square, the F-35s in the air over Capitol Hill. And they don't tell me anymore, right? They don't tell us. You know now that they don't tell us. Like normally you would want everybody aware of what you were doing, right? Because it's a military action to defend your country, to defend you, and defend your borders. So everybody would have to know what's going on, and it's a democracy where it's practically regimented like a well-ordered, oiled militia, right? And we're ready to go, and we don't have to surprise us. None of that stuff's holding on anymore, right? And I can't count on anybody in any of the institutions for that stuff, and haven't been able to count on them for their deal to me for a long time. Even before I was born, they were shorting me on what was supposed to be going on with me and mine. And I took an oath to it thinking it was still together. And I still have responsibilities and feel some kinship to my fellow American, but all these principles and values and ideals have disintegrated rapidly. Like it's Patriot Act 2 destroyed it outright. It's like they get into everything, anything, and I promise you those guys are not cool. They use people's personal and private information to intimidate them, to manipulate their lives. They use drugs and trafficking and things like this. That's how they handle their business. They can't do anything straight. They're too busy trying to cover up the dirty shit they did. All right? And like I said, there's always these wild, other dudes they kind of shit on and burn all over the place too. Not saying I'm the only dude that they do this to. And I've got a real big dad responsibility to something. That's what I'm going to leave this one out on. It's I can do something about it. And everybody who tried to hurt me and all the different dumb shit they did to hurt me, that was dumb. But really I want to finish my job. And really it's about Aikido, and it's about Moscow, it's about Japan, it's about some other places. Apparently it's about Tel Aviv. It's about Frederickson, but I'm not particularly interested in living in the United States. As it turns out, my value set is a lot different than the people who live here. Because while this dangerous pandemic, the pandemic, novel COVID-19 going, they're just doing all this crazy dumb shit, panic, and don't care, and like spread it for dumb reasons, like staged, ridiculous, like manufactured media events that manipulated people with secret spies from all the different countries with their interests involved trying to manipulate the situation. Me. I'll do it. Look, it's like, it never fails. It's like, they always, like, it's like, works in opposite. It's like the criminals always want to prove they're smarter than I am. Just like you dump, never mind. Just like the people who are against the criminals. Now we're on to it. Just like them. Except the law enforcement officers is what I was saying. Like, that's like the policemen, like, one of the kicks to being a detective and being a policeman is that you get to prove that you're smarter than these guys, and they're smarter than everybody else. It's kind of the gig is like sometimes they paint it as a battle of egos, but it's nothing like that. It actually is the opposite of that. Is that you only can, like, present yourself with the potentiality to discover those things and watch. Just potentiality for discovery is like, this dude can discover those things. And it creates a whole dynamic there. So that when the criminals see me, they're sorely threatened in a different way. It's their ego. It's their attitude about it. It's like, can they overcome me, right? Without blowing their game, too. So, like, this is how you get to, I work them and can move on them, is that, look, you guys, like, they're both compromised so much, they're, like, all in on it. Like, they're just trying to traffic who they're really, I realize, like, they try to victimize me, so they don't want to prove they, like, even when I show them the jig is up, they're still trying to victimize me. They're still trying to maintain the narrative where I don't understand I don't get what's going on. It's hilarious. That kind of attitude is fine, though, because wrongness is like, it's a decision almost all the time. When people, you could decide to not know, you can decide to assert yourself. If you know a fact and you know information and you should. But you can decide whether or not to carry on as though you believe something that you don't know, one way or the other. And that's a decision people make. Now, criminals have ego. They want to prove they're smarter than me. And they want to prove they have control over me. And they want, like, when they have a chance, especially when there's girls involved. Like I've been mentioning before, I'm starting to get more character development for some of my antagonists. And that's how to do it, too. Like, classic throughout history is like, if you really have it, like, you get to go ahead and, like, armor up and go out and go into it and penetrate it. Yeah. And that's how, like, you'll get a dynamic that way. You'll see it. You have to have a little faith. I don't know, like, where people get their value set from or how they develop consistent decision-making all the time. I discover very good decision-making very little. Like, I've been going to see a counselor, and she just sits there and listens, and it's just crazy, you know? I get better support from nowhere, right? I get support from nowhere because, like, look, what happened to me? First, my parents hurt me a bunch, so I had to leave here, and I had to go stay with a skinhead. Then they, charged me for a place to stay, and then locked me out of it. Locked me out of it and trafficked me to shithole Amityville, or the Cooey house, and that house up on the hill where my parents lived, and they lived in there, and the house that I grew up in, the Cooey house. Ugh. It's so evil. It's like, you guys get it. Like, I was trying to warn you before. It's like, I breathe, and see, if I'm not here, it doesn't bother me as much how deep the occult infiltration is here, and I was like really putting myself on the line to ask for help and all this stuff. People ignored me, and then they just try to set me up too, all the time, and try to burn me instead. And I'm already like onto it. It's like the jig has been up on that stuff for a long time. I don't know what to say. And they have their crooks, so they have the antagonist role. And this is the extra material. See where I stopped it, where I started talking to you guys about being a detective and giving you my bag? But my bag is better, and it maintains its value the less that I integrate it until I get what I want. And I want it on the Aikido mat. Look, I'll integrate these things. Because I give them a chance, right? And I know it. You guys don't get it. Like the people that you don't have to try too hard to get it. You don't get it because they choose not to. They say, oh, we're the villains, but we're going to carry on with the mob, with the lynch or whatever mob tactics or crazy that they do, like, or whether they're doing it, however they come to their bad value choices. Like, look, there's a difference between right and wrong, and sometimes giving guidance is the best way to maintain it, rather than trying enforcement or like punishment and detainment or anything like that. Same for all of you, if that's what it's going to be like. If you guys are, as long as you guys continue to define the foreground, you're going to think you have me, and you don't. If once I define the foreground, the Aikido mat, and I say that's where it belongs, and that's where it is. I have to go to Japan. I have to train. I have to meditate. I'm successful at all these things when I do them. And I get all these, like, cartel and law enforcement officers, and I can just, it's just, ugh. It's like, I can't even describe to you, like, how, like, revolting the situation. This situation make me sick. I swear to God, it's awful.